I wanted to reach out and wish everyone a good Shabbos. As the weather has gotten a little nicer, I've been able to see more of you taking walks outside. And I just want to remind everyone, encourage everyone as best as possible to continue to maintain proper social distancing. Please, please, please make sure to wear masks in public places and also to be mindful of our neighbors and recognize that we need to set an example for everyone in terms of adherence to all of the laws and recommendations from our health officials. In Parshas Emor, we learn about the monumental ask that is placed upon the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, who is instructed not to become ritually impure even upon the death of their loved ones. And I've always found this halacha to be somewhat of a distant halacha in the sense it's an impossible ask. And I think over the last number of months, we've seen an impossible ask upon the community, and individuals and the community has risen to the challenge. I've drawn strength from seeing people go through difficult times and not able to be there for their loved ones, perhaps in the hospital, or not able to attend the funeral of a loved one. We've seen people really rise to the occasion. And I think there is a parallel to be drawn from the Kohen Gadol. You see, the Torah tells us about the Kohen Gadol, Umina Mikdash lo yetzei, that upon the death of a loved one, they should not leave the Mikdash. Why? Ki nezer shemen mishkat elokav alav. Because the anointed crown of godliness is upon them. Ani Hashem. Rav Hirsch points out that the Kohen Gadol is modeling for all of us, every God-fearing Jew, what it means to have a nezer shemen mishkat elokav alav, to have a crown that is upon their head, and that they are instructed to always be in the Mikdash. That people see the high priest and they take note. And the high priest is instructed to always be in a state of lifnei Hashem, before God. In fact, the Rambam in Hilchos Bias HaMikdash, Parak Aleph, Halacha Yud, says that in contrast to a regular Kohen, you can become impure for close relatives. Kohen Gadol asur legadel pera v'likra begadav le'olam. The Kohen Gadol is not allowed to exhibit the public expressions of mourning. Sharei tamid hu b'mikdash, because he is always in the Mikdash. Now, it doesn't mean the Kohen Gadol lived in the base of Mikdash. The Kohen Gadol had a family; he would go home at night. But what the Rambam is articulating is that Kohen Gadol always understood that he was lifnei Hashem. He always understood that he was a role model for others of being in the Mikdash. And I think this example of Kohen Gadol is something that now we're asking for all of us, for the entire community, to recognize, of course, that first and foremost for our own safety and the safety of our friends and neighbors, we should be careful in terms of wearing masks and keeping our socially distant, appropriate socially distant spacing. But in addition, on another level, we are also role models for our non-Jewish neighbors and the non-Jewish community who might look at us as an example, hopefully of the good, but maybe of those who are not adhering to the laws. Examples of stories have been shared with me of neighbors saying, of course, wonderful things, but also commenting on the social distance that we as a publicly observant Jews are adhering to the laws. So I want to encourage everyone that it is a monumental task that we're all being given, but it is so important. As visibly religious Jews, people are looking at the way we act and making judgments. And aside from protecting ourselves and our own health, we also want to be creating a Kiddush Hashem and being role models for our neighbors. Rav Hirsch again echoes, Zachelko shel kol adam hamevin kamo hamilim ani Hashem. The task is not just placed on the Kohen Gadol, the task is placed on all of us. Anyone who walks around as an openly religious Jew, we are being judged, we are being watched, and we have a responsibility to serve as role models of what it means to listen to the adherence, the guidance of our public health officials, and what it means to always recognize we are always in a state of lifnei Hashem, standing before God. We are all asked during this time to remain in our Mikdash, whether that means to be in the safety of our homes or whether it means when we're outside with a kippah or religious dress, that people recognize us and we should be a role model for what it's like to play by the rules and to be extra machmir, extra stringent, that we preserve life. Shabbat shalom to everyone.